What will the Earth look like in 100 years? Time flies fast. From seconds to minutes to hours to days to months to years, everything is slowly changing. Everything will always rely on climate change. If the climate is changing, the Earth will also change in the future, as well as the adaptation and advances of technology. The software continent broke apart because of various forces, which formed the separate continents we know today. Plate tectonics also play a role in climate change. Earth's continental plates have moved a great deal over time. More than 200 million years ago, the continents merged together into one giant landmass called Pangaea. Our restless Earth is always changing. Tectonic plates drift, the crust creaks, and volcanoes erupt. Air pressure falls, storms form, and precipitations results. Let's learn how these powerful forces shape our air, land, water, and weather, and constantly transform our planet. We still have a long journey to explore how our response to Earth's changes will impact our future on Earth and how our choices will impact our future on Earth. As the continents broke apart and moved, their positions on Earth changed, and so did the movements of ocean currents. Both of these changes had effects on the climate. A study produced by Climate Central shows that around 150 million people currently live in areas set to be submerged by 2050, and about 70% of these people at risk are Southeast Asia, including the Philippines. As the Philippines are a collection of islands, there are a lot of people living on the coast. Add to this the low elevation of much of the land and you have a recipe for disaster. Another consequence is the rise in sea level. Over the next several decades, sea level will probably rise 10 to 20 centimeters or 4 to 8 inches. This may not sound like much, but it may cause extensive damage. For example, erosion to coastlines. In addition, it will bring about an increase in the chances of catastrophic floods like what happened in some places in the Philippines. Over the next several centuries, sea level may rise by 5 or more meters or 16 or more feet. Can you imagine how the shorelines of continents will change? Many of today's major coastal cities might be underwater. Volcanoes both on land and under the ocean release greenhouse gases. So if the eruption only reaches the troposphere, the additional gases contribute to warming. However, if the eruption is powerful enough to reach the stratosphere, particles reflect sunlight back into space, causing periods of cooling regionally. Even if we make big changes, it's unlikely that climate change will completely end. In 100 years, oceans will most likely rise, displacing many people, and it will continue to become warm and acidic. Natural disasters like wildfires and hurricanes will continue to be very common, and water resources could be scarce. In fact, not knowing is one of the problems. Global warming is a significant risk to society. On the one hand, we do not know what exactly happened. On the other hand, we realize that what could happen could be serious, and these consequences could affect different parts of the world in different ways. On the bright side, please remember that none of this is inevitable. As a society, we can make choices that will avoid the serious consequences of global warming. There are simple choices that each one of us can make, like installing energy-saving light bulbs in our homes. And then there are choices that we can make together, like choosing leaders who will insist that we figure out a way to keep carbon produced by coal-fired power plants, the most common electric power plants around the world, from going into the atmosphere. There is no single solution, though there are only many small ones. NASA is researching Earth to make observations that will benefit everyone. They're also developing new technology to push the boundaries of the future and better explore the moon and Mars, and maybe other planets someday. They think that much remains to be learned about the moon and how we might use its resources to support human life somewhere other than the Earth. That's all. Thank you and goodbye.